No matter how much you prepare, challenges will come. Pain will find you. Doubt will whisper in your mind, telling you to stop, to quit, to accept defeat. And do you know what separates the weak from the unstoppable? The response to that moment. Because when everything seems to be against you, that's when you define yourself. That's when you decide who you truly are. Overcoming is not for the weak. It's not for those who seek comfort. Overcoming is for those who understand that every fall is an invitation to rise stronger. It doesn't matter how hard the hit was. It doesn't matter how deep you fell. You get up and keep going. Not because it's easy, not because you want to, but because giving up on yourself is never an option. People like to talk about willpower as if it's something magical, something you feel on good days. But do you know what true willpower is? It's what gets you out of bed when everything inside you wants to stay lying down. It's what makes you take one more step when your legs are screaming to stop. It's what makes you keep fighting when no one else believes in you. Because in the end, it doesn't matter what others think. What matters is what you do. Oh, but I'm tired. So what? Oh, but it's hard. Big surprise. No one said it would be easy. Do you want to know what's easy? Quitting. Quitting is easy. It's the choice of the weak. But to keep going requires something few have. To keep going requires grit. It requires courage. It requires you to look in the mirror and say, I won't stop. I won't give up on myself. Overcoming isn't about winning every battle. It's about never stopping the fight. It's about falling and getting back up, stumbling and moving forward. It's about understanding that every challenge is an opportunity. Every difficulty is a chance to become stronger. So tell me, will you use your pain as an excuse or as fuel? Will you let obstacles defeat you, or will you crush them on your way to what you want? The world doesn't need another quitter. It already has too many of them. The world needs men who, even in the middle of chaos, stand up and say, I'm going on. I will win. And you can be that man. But only if you decide that, no matter what life throws at you, you will never stop. Don't give up on yourself. Because if you give up, no one else will fight for you. Every time you keep going, even when it's hard, you're proving to yourself that you're capable, that you're stronger than you thought. And when you finally overcome, when you finally look back and see how far you've come, you'll realize that all the effort, all the pain, all the sacrifice was worth it. So here's the truth. Life will test you. It will knock you down. But you always have a choice. You can stay on the ground, lamenting, or you can get up and keep going. It doesn't matter how many times you fall. What matters is that you never, ever give up on yourself. Listen to something few have the courage to admit. The world is an arena, and everyone is competing. Some are fighting to win, while others are just trying to survive. Remember one thing, you aren't born to survive. You were born to conquer, to dominate, to be the best. And if that bothers you, maybe you've already accepted being one of the weak. The competitive spirit isn't something you choose, it's something that's inside you. It's that fire that makes you want to win, to be number one, to be the king here. And do you know what separates those who have that fire from those who don't? The willingness to fight. Because wanting to be the best means nothing if you're not willing to get up and battle for it every day. The fighting instinct is what transforms an ordinary man into a conqueror. It's not about being aggressive without purpose. It's about understanding that every day is a battle. That success, respect, recognition, none of that is given for free. All of it must be earned, and only those who enter the arena with a will to win are worthy of reaching the top. Oh, but I don't like competition. Then you've already lost. Because while you try to avoid the fight, another man is fighting for what should be yours. And when he wins, don't complain. He won because he had the courage to fight. Because he understood that the world belongs to those who hunger for conquest, not to those who hide. Do you want to be the best? Then start acting like it. Stop settling for less. Stop accepting mediocrity. The competitive spirit isn't just about defeating others. It's about defeating who you were yesterday. It's about being better every day, being stronger, faster, smarter. It's about never settling, because the moment you stop competing is the moment you start falling. I am the king here. That should be your mentality. It doesn't matter where you are now. It doesn't matter who is against you. If you enter the arena with the mentality that you were born to win, no one can stop you. Because the world respects the fighting instinct. It respects those who fight for what they want, who aren't intimidated, who don't accept less than they deserve. You were born to conquer, not to watch, not to admire others. You were born to dominate the arena, to leave your mark, to be remembered. And that demands an unshakable competitive spirit, because the weak settle for leftovers. The strong take what they want. So tell me, will you keep sitting, watching others win? Or will you enter the arena and show who you truly are? Because success doesn't wait. It goes to those who have the courage to fight, to those who have the instinct to battle, to those who understand that this world belongs to those who aren't afraid to compete. Rise up. Enter the arena with the mindset of a conqueror. Tell yourself, I am the king here. I was born to win. I was born to conquer. Because when you adopt this mindset, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you. Have you ever thought about what you're leaving behind? Not for yourself, but for your family, for those who come after you. Let me remind you of something. You don't live just for yourself. You have a responsibility, a mission, and it starts at home. It's your obligation to build something greater than your own life, something the next generations can look at and say, he did this for us. You work for your family. You have no other option. Every effort, every sacrifice, every battle you face is to ensure that those who depend on you have a better life. This isn't a choice, it's a duty. You don't have the luxury of being weak, of giving up, of living carelessly. Because if you fail, they suffer. And that's something a real man never accepts. Building a legacy isn't about accumulating material possessions, though that's part of it. It's about the example you set. It's about the values you teach, the lessons you leave behind, the strength you demonstrate. Your children, your family, are watching you every day. They're learning from what you do, not from what you say. So tell me, what are your actions teaching right now? Are you showing how to face life with courage? Or are you teaching them to give up when things get tough? Family responsibility isn't a burden. It's a privilege. Having people who depend on you is the greatest calling a man can have, because it gives you purpose. It gives you a reason to keep going, even when life knocks you down. You don't work just to pay bills. You work to build a future. A future that inspires your children, that gives security to your family, that proves you were here and made a difference. The world is a tough place, and if you don't stand up and protect your own, no one else will. Your family doesn't need excuses, it doesn't need justifications. It needs a leader. Someone who's willing to carry the weight, to face the battles, to ensure they never have to endure the same struggles you faced. That's legacy, that's responsibility. Do you think you have time? Do you think you can wait? You can't. The clock is ticking, and every day you waste is a day that could have been used to build something greater. Are you investing in your family's future, or just going through the days, leaving the responsibility for later? Because in the end, the only thing that will matter is what you left behind for those who come after you. Your family is a reflection of the man you are. If you're strong, they learn to be strong. If you're disciplined, they learn the importance of dedication. If you're resilient, they will never accept defeat. So ask yourself, what kind of example are you setting right now? What kind of legacy are you building? Because if you're not living to inspire your family, you're not truly living. Legacy isn't just about what you do, but about how you live. It's built in the sacrifices you make today so that your family doesn't have to make them tomorrow. It's built in how you face challenges, how you protect and lead your own. It's your responsibility, your privilege, and above all, your duty. You work for your family. You have no other option. And when you understand this, when you accept it, you become unstoppable. Because a man who fights for something greater than himself cannot be defeated. Rise up, work, lead, and ensure that, when it's all said and done, your family looks back and says, he gave us everything. He left us a legacy. And for that to happen, you must face your demons. Remember, the world is full of men who talk about courage, who say what they would do in extreme situations. But when fear shows up, they back down. They hesitate. And at that moment, their actions, or lack of them, define them. Because let me tell you a brutal truth. What the hero does defines him as a hero. What the coward doesn't do defines him as a coward. It's that simple. Courage isn't measured by the words you say, but by the actions you take when everything is on the line. A true hero isn't someone who doesn't feel fear. He does. He knows danger is real, that failure is a possibility, but he acts anyway. He understands that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the choice to move forward despite it. Meanwhile, the coward finds excuses, looks for reasons not to act, and waits for someone else to do what he didn't have the courage to do. And do you know what's worse? The coward lives with regret. He sees what he could have done, what he should have done, and drowns in the weight of lost opportunity. But the hero, even when he fails, carries the certainty that he tried, that he gave it his all, that he faced the challenge head on. Because that's what separates the great from the weak, the willingness to act, even when the outcome is uncertain. Heroism isn't about saving the world. It's about standing up in the moments that matter. It's about protecting those who depend on you. It's about fighting for what's right, even when it's easier to stay silent. It's about putting your life, your reputation, and your comfort at risk, because you know some things are worth the sacrifice. And do you know what the coward does in those moments? He stands still. He watches while others act. He chooses safety over honor. Do you want to be remembered as a hero? Then understand one thing. Courage is built in small decisions. It's not something that magically appears in big moments. It's a daily choice to face what scares you, to confront challenges head-on, to not shy away from what's difficult. Every time you choose to act despite fear, you're preparing yourself for the moments that truly matter. The world doesn't need more cowards, it's already full of them. Men who talk but never act. Men who watch while others fight. The world needs heroes. Men who, even in the face of fear, say, "I will do what's necessary." Men who have the courage to stand when everyone else kneels. Men who understand that true honor comes from action, not intention. And let me remind you, courage isn't about what others see. It's not about impressing or seeking recognition. It's about who you are when no one is watching. What do you do when fear is suffocating you and the world seems against you? That's when you define yourself. That's when you decide if you'll be remembered as a hero or forgotten as a coward. The hero faces fear, the coward runs away. The hero takes risks, the coward hides. The hero rises, the coward stays on the ground. And in the end, the only thing that matters is the choice you make. So tell me, what will you do when fear shows up? Will you act? Will you fight? Will you protect what matters? Or will you retreat, hesitate, and become just another person who chose the easy path? The decision is yours. The world doesn't need more empty words, it needs actions. It needs men who choose courage every single day. So rise, face it, fight, be the hero of your own story because no one else can be.